What's up, gamers? It's your boy Cycle Gamer, and we got another video. Now, I apologize that there's no gameplay in the background, and also apologize for my voice. I am a little bit under the weather right now, but you know, whatever. We'll get through it. So, today my video is about it's actually a response video to my boy Jimmy Bgaming. If you guys are not subscribed to Jimmy Bgaming, check his channel out. If you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe to him. I'm subscribed to his channel. He's a very good YouTuber, good content. It's just that we don't agree on a lot of things, or certain things. This is basically a response to him. Now, just to give you guys a little bit of background, he made a video where he was comparing the resolutions on a few games. Well, between the Xbox One and PS4, basically. Comparing the resolutions, and I guess he was trying to show that the PS4 had more 1080p native games on that system. Okay, so I made a response. I made a comment on his video. It was just a normal, just a generic comment, just explaining my views and the differences and how I see it. So he, at the end of his video, he basically said that he's going to stick with PC, and so that combination of the video and the end of his video is what prompted my response. Okay, now he just recently made a video. I don't know if it was today, yesterday, or whatever. I'm just now seeing it. But he made a video response to my comment to him. And I don't know what this is. I don't know why this happens so much. Maybe it's a YouTube thing. I'm not sure. But people have the tendency to take what you say and kind of flip it to make it fit their agenda. Like words that you never even said. They will take them and flip them and make them into what they want to make their point. And this is the case here. I made a response, and he took some words and said some stuff and added some 720p, added some other stuff in there. But anyway, basically, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to play the portion of his video where he addressed my comment, and then I'm going to read to you guys exactly what I said, and I'm going to explain what I meant by what I said in detail. All right, so let's go into him addressing me. And before we go there, I'm just gonna let you guys know two things. One, this is not a beef video. This is not an exposed video. This is nothing like that. This is a gamer conversation, and I wish I can see more of that on YouTube, where guys are actually having a conversation, a debate about something without getting personal and stuff like that. This is games, guys. So yeah. And the second thing I want to say to you guys is resolutions. This is to Jimmy too. Resolutions are not graphics. Okay, that's very important. That's what I'm about to explain to you. We'll come back to that. But here's his response, his video response to me.
Talking about right now. One guy in my comment section named Cycle Gaming. Shout out to you. You do have a good channel. And I see you doing big things in the future. But what I want to say to you is that, and anyone that says this, because a lot of people actually use this excuse for Xbox, and it's not a good excuse. It's actually poor. You use the excuse that 360 is 720 native resolution, and Xbox is running at an average of 900p native resolution. But you guys say that when you look at the 360 and the Xbox One, that you see a huge difference in quality. But then you make my point that we should be mad at Xbox because the same resolution that you're looking at, if you do the math, is 180p difference. That's the same difference between Xbox One and PS4. The same difference that you guys are saying that you don't see on Xbox One and PS4. How can you say that you see a difference between 720 and 900, but then you don't see a difference between 900 and 1080? This makes you guys fools because your own logic runs against you.
Okay, so I'm just gonna cut it right there. Sorry, my phone. I'm doing this ghetto style right now, y'all. But anyway, so that was his video response. Now I'm gonna let you get. I'm gonna read exactly what I said to him and I'm going to stop and I'm going to pause and I'm going to explain in detail what I meant by in each sentence. Okay, so quote, in my opinion, if extra P's are what is important to you in gaming, then yes, you should invest in a good PC. That's just the way I feel about that, okay? Because he seems to be really hard pressed about these consoles hitting 1080p, which I don't understand. We'll talk about that later. Okay, I'm going back into my comment. Quote, me being a console gamer only, I don't concern myself with resolution. As the games look good to me and they look better graphically, I wrote that in big letters for a reason. Back to what I was saying. They look better graphically than last gen console games. Again, graphics are not resolutions. Okay? Would you guys agree? This goes out to you too, Jimmy. Would you agree that the games graphically look better than the 360 games? By graphics, I mean textures, I mean polygons, I mean shaders, I mean all of that. Okay? Let me give you guys a good example. Let me think of an example of what I'm saying here. Okay, here we go. So Mario, let's say the first Super Mario on the NES. I believe you can play that on your PC. Now you can take the resolution of that Mario game and do it in 4K or 8K, whatever you want to do to it. That will not change the graphics in that game at all. Okay, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the new Mario that's out right now, I believe that's in 720p. I don't even think that's 1080p. But that game looks so much better, and we don't even have to go there. We can go to Mario 64. That game looks so much better than the Mario on the NES, the original Mario, because of the graphics, because of the 3D world, because of everything else that's involved with that. Has nothing to do with resolutions. Okay? So let's go back into my comment here. Quote, after owning both PS4 and Xbox One, I quickly realized that the resolution differences aren't nearly what people want to make them out to be, but used more as a marketing tool to help people define which is better. And I put better in quotes. Okay, so let me explain that sentence. I own both consoles and I played both consoles, and based on what I can see on my TV, I don't see that big of a difference. Maybe it's there. If it's there, it's really, really small. I didn't play them at the same time on two different TVs, but I played them after each other. Maybe there's a difference there, but what I'm saying is I don't notice them. Okay. Now, I don't know if it's the upscaler chip in the Xbox One or what. That's another thing too. All of these consoles have upscaler chips in them. So when somebody says they can, when PC guys say they can see the difference between 720p and 900p and 1080p, ask them if their computers have upscalers in them. I'm pretty sure when they're downscaling their games to 720 or 800p, they're getting a native resolution. We're not getting a native resolution on these consoles. These consoles have upscaler chips in them, and for what I'm hearing, the Xbox One has one of the better upscalers in its console. Okay, and so I mentioned also that 1080p has become more of a marketing tool to these guys, or more of a dick measuring thing with these guys, because the example, it's a prime example, is Call of Duty right now. Okay, Call of Duty is running at the what is it, 19 by 20 1080p, something like that. The highest thing you can get in 1080p, and the Xbox is it fluctuates between 1230 or 1320 and 1080p or something like that. It's dynamic. Okay, the reason why the Xbox version is dynamic is because, at some points, well, basically the game runs better on the Xbox One because they're not locked at 1080p 60 frames per second. It's not locked, it varies, and so that makes the gameplay on the Xbox One version run smoother. But the PS4 version is suffering because they gotta have 1080, they gotta have native 1080p on that system, because if they don't, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna have these guys talking shit, saying that the PS4 is more powerful and it should be at a higher resolution than the Xbox One's version. That it's fucked up, and I don't think this is what gaming is about. It's not about numbers. It's about enjoying a console and enjoying the games. Is anybody complaining on how Sunset Overdrive looks? That game is not 1080p. It's 900p. Rise, one of the best looking games on any console, and that game is running at 900p. Anyway, let's go back to my comment here, and this is the last sentence, I promise. If people can really tell the difference, there will be no need for Digital Foundry, and I wouldn't be waiting to hear what Digital Foundry's results are. They will be able to tell if a game is 1080p immediately. Now that just goes back to what I was saying. I kind of went far in my comment, but that just goes back to what I was saying. Okay, people are waiting for Digital Foundry to get the numbers. If you can tell what 1080p is, what native 1080p is, then you wouldn't need Digital Foundry. You can look at it and see, okay, that's not 1080p. And if you could, Killzone is like a prime example of this shit. Killzone, to me, in my opinion, has exposed the industry. That game was not even 1080p. And it took Digital Foundry to put that out there for people to realize it. Sony lied about it. Again, a dick measuring contest. Again, they want that label because they turned 1080p into a marketing term. And so they have to have it on that console now. Okay, so that's what I said. I never said anything about the resolution of the Xbox. First of all, how is 1080p the standard for this early in this generation when 720p wasn't even the standard last generation? Please tell me that. When the games last year were being upscaled to 720p, they were at 480, they were at 643, they were all over the fucking place. There's a rare occasion where the games were 720 or native or whatever it was, but for the most part, there was no standard. There was no standard 720p resolution. They were all being upscaled. And you want to know why? Because nobody gave a fuck. Okay, the only reason why people care now is because Sony, with their genius marketing, you got to give it up for them on that. Sony managed to change the conversation. They changed the conversation to resolution instead of actual games. Now, this is just my opinion. I'm not going to say this is fact. I'm not going to say this is definite. I don't work for Sony. I don't work for Microsoft, so I don't know. But I do know a little bit about marketing. But my hunch is this. I think that Sony knew that they weren't going to be able to compete with Microsoft on the games right now. Okay, they got games coming 2015, 2016. They got Uncharted. They got God of War. They got all these franchises. I think they knew that they weren't going to be able to compete early on, so they decided to change the conversation and talk about resolutions, and it worked. You got console gamers out here talking about resolutions like they know what the fuck they're talking about. And I'm not gonna, obviously I don't know about resolutions. I couldn't even tell you what Mario was on the Wii. But these guys are out here talking about resolutions like they can tell the difference, like they can see it when it's been shown that they can't. But anyway, that's my response to him. And again, this is not a beef video. This video's already gone too long, so I'm going to end it there. And you guys check out his channel, check out his videos. He has some good content on there. This is Psycho Gamer, and I'm out.